All right, guys, welcome to week 7. Where we are in the process is that you have just submitted your assignment 2, which is your research methodology. Your assignment 3 is going to combine assignment 1, assignment 2, and you're going to add a review of literature based on the annotated bibliography that you did for assignment 1. And so I want to go a little bit more in depth of talking about how to write a literature review and what that should look like in this lecture. I'm also going to provide you with several examples of literature reviews along with some resources for how to write a literature review. So what a review of lit is basically we're trying to look at the existing literature related to the topic that we're trying to discuss. We're trying to see really what the state of knowledge is. And it's a good opportunity for us to learn more about what our problem is. It's also an ability for us to possibly narrow down our research questions, narrow down our topic, and really see what's missing from the literature. And so there's a lot of purposes for a literature review, but one is we want to demonstrate that we are familiar with our topic. We want to know the main theories, the main concepts, the important people who have done research, and we want to narrow down our research questions, and we want to figure out is the past what the past research looks like in order to inform us to make decisions about our research. We can use it to develop our hypotheses, to look at other ways people have conducted research, what they use for variables, for methodologies. And then really important, and I put this in a lot of the comments I made for some of you on your paper, is that we want to be able, if we did the research and conducted the research that we're proposing, we would want to be able to go back and compare our findings to what people in the past have done. So, when we're looking at sources, there's a bunch of different places to find those. And, we want to look for scholarly seminal works. And seminal works means the most prominent studies that have been done. And so we want to make sure that we have the good information. We want, the most up-to-date articles if possible, and we want the big studies, the main studies on our topic. And again, the library website is the way to go. Okay, we want to go to our library website and use that because that's going to give us the access to the best articles. So when we write this, we want to first start with an introduction, very briefly, just introduce what it is we're studying. We want to highlight that we think there's a need for additional research, and we want to focus on what our problem is. And so we can take this straight out of kind of our assignment 1. And then we want to get into the main body of the paper, which is where we want to kind of develop this thing in themes. So we want to pick the 3, for your purposes, the 2 to 3, 4 big topics around your problem. And we want to present the basically what others have found about that topic. Okay, we want to talk about their methodologies. We want to talk about their results. Okay, we want to highlight their findings. And the idea of doing this, guys, is we're wanting to look for themes that everybody is finding, or gaps, like where there's just not research being done. And we want to talk about how our research kind of differs from other research. We want to make sure that we restate our purpose. Although it's not required, we want to make sure people at least know what the purpose is and why we're doing a review of literature. So some things we want to know, or questions we want to strengthen our review of lit. I apologize for my computer. I don't know why it's going crazy. We want to make sure that it's related to our problem. We want it to be relatively dialed in. Although for some of you guys, you're not going to find articles about your study because it hasn't been done. So you got to look for things that are related to it. And I'll explain this in a little bit when I post a video about doing an actual lit review. Make sure we have the most important literature that's been done, and make sure after we get the most important, we want the most recent, like within ideally 10 years. We want to make sure it's organized. So organize it in themes. Pick a theme, talk about the literature that applies to that theme, go to the next theme. Make sure we address anything we see as a gap or a weakness. Make sure that we have a real brief introduction, a real brief conclusion, and make sure that our review of lit kind of leads toward our research questions. Okay? And so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to post a brief video about how to do a lit review, and I'll give you an example, show you what one looks like.